Live. I am Savage Squishy 86 and we are continuing our live stream playthrough of Bloodborne. What a day it was yesterday. We finally got ourselves squared away and started with the DLC of the Old Hunters DLC. We took down Ludwig the Accursed and we opened up the next stage of the DLC playthrough. As much as I would like to get further into that, we're not going to pursue that quite just yet any further, because I really want to get back into the scope of doing a little bit more in the way of those chalice dungeons before we get started into that. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue with that measure with the next follow-up of DLC with after the chalice dungeon. So, we're going to be hopscotching around a few places here. Number one, we're going to do maybe one more chalice dungeon in its entirety. Then we're going to jump into the DLC for just a little bit more. And then we're going to go ahead and hop out of the DLC into the actual world and get a little bit further into the Yargul Unseen Village. There's a lot to be done, but ultimately we still have a proportionate amount of time to indulge in getting into the DLCs. As well as the chalice dungeons, because we still have a lot more chalice dungeons to do. So I think I want to get a little bit more variety mix up, and then maybe in the next stream after this one, maybe after the next one after this one, I want to commit fully some time into the chalice dungeons. Because we have such a monumental proportionate number of them, we still got a big chunk of them. If we don't get through all of them, per se, we can always continue that resumation with the second game, with New Game Plus playthrough, which I think will end up happening. I did some consideration about it, so we're going to be hopscotching around a little bit. But ultimately, what chalice dungeons we don't finish in this playthrough, we will follow up in the second playthrough. But all the things the same. We're going to get right into it. Right with this next sectional, so pretty much right off the jump we're gonna get right into the first chalice dungeon. I did do a little bit of farming for echoes, so I definitely did want to do that. So right away we're gonna go ahead and get started with the Cursed Thumerian Defilement chalice dungeon. Basically this is a Cursed Thumerian chalice dungeon. It is going to chop our health in half, so this is going to be a very hard chalice dungeon, but I think we're ready for it. So let's get into it. I also want to give a big shout out to Junior Smith 7538. Thank you very much for your comment, brother. I appreciate the fact that you actually find it right up your alley. So I'm still in the developing phase, so hopefully at some point my stream will continue to impress for a little bit longer, even slight. So as you can see right there, right from the spot, you can see our health has been cut in half. So this is the negative implication of a cursed chalice dungeon, as it cuts your health in half. So we will have to be extremely diligently careful with this particular chalice dungeon. There will be other chalice dungeons that will have fetid, rotted, and cursed offerings, which will give you a fundamentally huge boon of profit. But we want to do this right, so we're gonna go ahead and oh shit! That scared the fuck out of me. This asshole. Okay, note to self. Eyes open. We're gonna go ahead and get some throwing knives equipped. We can obviously see there are some witches here. Witches will pretty much be a common practice with defiled and cursed chalice dungeons, so yeah, just be vigilant with their presence, especially if you see them. Do not try to get close to them. They will one-shot you with the cursed. So if it's a cursed chalice dungeon, do not try to close the gap on them or in their face, because if you do, and they hit you with the fire, it will almost certainly kill you right off the spot. So definitely gotta change my hat though, because I definitely want added physical protection. It looks good, but I'd rather be protected versus looking good, especially if we're playing this game. So we're gonna go ahead and also equip our saw cleaver. Oh, you know what? Actually, I should do is get some coins as well. All right, there's our switch leading out. But before we get into that, I want to explore a little bit. Oh, we got a giant ghoulie. $6,000 echoes. Obviously, you can see the big payout with the strength of these enemies based on the curse. So that's the thing. Curse will give you a little bit more in the way of echoes. Oh, we got an ambush. We want to get away from the area as fast as possible. I could go probably raise my physical HP. I may actually do that. I'll get through the first layer, and then I'll look for an exit strategy to get my health up a little bit, because I definitely want added health protection. So I'll probably change my runes out to get a little bit of the way of that health that was taken from me. I took the liberty of changing my runes, my emotes up a little bit, because there's going to be some quest lines that we're going to need to do to accommodate that. And that's 2. We got a cursed damp blood gem. Now, the cursed defiled dungeons will give you really powerful blood gems in the form of cursed gems. Cursed gems give you the benefits of 3 bonuses, or in this case 2. And the third one will usually be a vulnerability, HP degrading, weapon durability being degraded, damage to kin, damage to beast being degraded. It's going to be various, but these are some of the most powerful gems you can get in the game. If you use the right ones, you can get a really ridiculously hard-hitting weapon. So if you're looking for really powerful gems, cursed, preferably with fetid, rotted offerings, are the best ones to find. They're the hardest dungeons to tackle because you can die super easy, but you will get the biggest payout of echoes, and you will get the most ridiculous power ever conceived with blood gems. You'll become a stone-cold killer of hunters. So just bear that in mind. Now that we've opened up the chamber, we're going to head in that direction. I'm not going to worry too much about Vile Bloods. If they show up, great, but I'm not going to waste time going back and looking. And in this next area, we'll have a side area. We're going to explore that. Have our saw cleaver handy in the event we get ambushed by, like that. But ultimately, I want to have it handy in the event I see a nightmare. Nightmares will be handy to have. More now than ever. Alright, we got a big old uber ghoulie wandering. We got a locked door to our left. We got a witch. So we're going to need to deal with the witch. That was very close. I'm definitely gonna... I'm using the repeating pistol because we get the added benefit of the power, with the exception that we're actually burning a little bit more of our ammo, but that's okay. I can live with that. Over here, there'll be a chest. Grab the ritual blood she dropped. And the ritual blood from the chest. Off the body, we'll have some Molotovs. And we'll get rid of this ghoulie. I really hate it when they fucking drop through the map, because it's like, they just cheat me for resources, man. Quicksilver bullets on the body. Go ahead and throw some coins down so we know that this is our way out. Over here on this body, bypass the door for a second, and grab the shining coins to replace the ones we just used. And open the gate. On the body to the right, we'll have Molotovs. To the left, we will have blood vials. We'll open up the door to our left first. This will obviously take us to a drop point, which we could very well drop in there, which I think we will. $3,000 echoes just for that killing of that guy. So as you can see, there is a huge boon of money to be, I mean, and that's the best way. I'm going to call it like it is. I mean, basically that's what it is. Money to be made in this case. Look at that, 15,000 echoes just for that. Beautiful. I'm gonna get this asshole's attention. He got away. Get over here, dickhead. I'm talking to you. There. Come on. There we go. I really want to get visceral attacks because I get huge bounce of money. There's 5,000. Oh, hello. Okay, obviously this is going to be a bit risque. There we go. There we go. Cursed Damp Blood Gem, level 5. Beautiful. The problem here is that we've got no cover, so I'm going to see about using some of the blue elixir to give us some cover. We need to get rid of the smoke so I can see these targets. So right away, we're going to wait for this asshole to lose his interest, and then we're going to wait to slip behind him. And there we go. One. Hopefully that'll be enough to put him down. It is. Great. We got Quicksilver bullets. And now we'll slip around over here to the left, quietly. Get this one. And that'll be 2. More Quicksilver. Very nice. And this will be 3. Bang. I think it pretty much goes without saying I want to do the backstabs as opposed to the front kills, because the front kills I seem to lose the item. So over here, open the coffin, and we will inside find a Cursed Odd Tampering Blood Gem. Beautiful. Which is a huge boon for us. So we pretty much have dispatched those threats. We have a ladder leading us up here. We'll come back down, though, because we have a door down here we need to explore. Rope Molotov cocktails at the top of the ladder. Open up the path leading out. Across the bridge. And inside here we will have a ghoulie, and it looks like a coffin. Gotta be careful. Adio, man. Get some blood bullets, get some health. Open up the chest. And we'll find some ritual blood inside. Then we will head back across the bridge, descend the ladder, and explore that other door at the far corner. Right here. And here it looks like we got a ghoulie with a pickaxe. Some Quicksilver bullets. I don't remember if there was a door over here or not. I don't think so. Nope. Now that we found our prize, we can get out of here. Now, I will take the liberty of probably assuming that there's probably going to be a threat. I'm going to guess the first boss we're going to encounter in this dungeon will probably be an undead giant. Nope, it's a Keeper of the Old Lord, so this is going to be a tight quarters area. So we're going to want to have some fire protection. Oh! Alright, guys, take a chill pill. Trying to change my outfit while I'm being followed by this asshole. This asshole is next level, so. I gotta be very careful. He is nasty. Come on, give me a window. Give me a window. Gotcha. It's gonna get dicey now. Almost had me cornered. Come on. Gotcha. Come on. Come on. Bye. And look at that. We got a blood purse gemstone and we got a bloodstone chunk. So, yeah, very good. But man, I'll tell you, that was a tough fight. That was close as it gets. He got me nervous a few times, so we're going to head back to the Hunter's Dream and we're going to resupply. Because that was dicey. That was about as dicey as it gets. Whew, mercy. Very, very dicey. But the cool thing is we got all that echoes. Look at those echoes. That is like what you want. You want that kind of payout. I mean, and it's only going to get higher. It's only going to get higher the more you do it. So right away we're going to go ahead and improve our vitality because our power is going to be severely hampered here. And we're going to go ahead and resupply our resources. So what are we needing? Well, we're going to need a lot of... we're going to need some more knives. We're going to need some stones. We're going to need some bone marrow ash. We're okay for blood vials and stuff, so that's good. But we're going to change our rune, too. We're going to change it. We're going to go with... Instead of I, we're going to go with... boost max HP by 10%. And... Vile HP recovery up for the other rune. Can I fortify something? Good, I can. I'll do my threaded cane. Beautiful. And then we'll get right back into the dungeon. Now bear in mind, once you've completed one of these dungeons, if you so wish, you could keep them. You could keep them active, and you could just go right into Layer 1 and just basically run from Layer 1 all the way to Layer 3, Boss Chamber 1 to Boss Chamber 3. I mean, you can't really fight the bosses again, but you can farm the area for echoes, which is exactly what I would say doing. If you're looking for more power for your stats, you know, this is what you want to do. You want to hit these big payout dungeons and really milk them, in a sense. Milk them for every bit of resource you can get. It's going to be a huge benefit to you in the long term. So we'll go ahead and head into the next layer. As you can see now, we got a little bit more health, so we're about even close to our stamina, which is good. Now here we have a chamber going above us, so we're going to have a side area, which is right here. Important to keep your wits about you. You might get ambushed. These dungeons, you definitely want to do that because you don't want to get blitzed from a sneak attacking enemy. I go into every one of these things very slow usually. And here we have a chamber. And I see on our left here, we have a guardian. So let's see if we can't slip behind him and get an easy kill. I don't think this is going to be a kill death. Which it's not, ironically. I'm glad I got that visceral, though, because I really wanted the echoes. Ooh, 26,000 echoes for that kill. Beautiful. Let's go. Get the chest. And 2 mold level 4. Over here, another chest. Ritual blood 5. Check the walls for passages. You don't want to take anything for granted. On the body, we'll find some quicksilver bullets. More quicksilver bullets. Throwing knives. More quicksilver bullets. Okay, so we have a door here, but over here I'm taking notice of this little wall here. This looks suspect, so I think it's a hidden passage, and... Oh, it isn't. I thought it was. Okay. That was a bit disappointing, but I thought it looked like one. Usually when you have those little indentations like the casings of a door, usually a good indicator it's a hidden passage. I'm keeping my eyes open above me so I don't get ambushed above. Okay, this may be our bridge leading out and across, so let's check this out. Alright, we got a trap here, obviously. We got blood vials. And that's it. Wow, that is really disappointing. Always so underwhelming when they make it look like, ooh, there's something to be gained up here. And then you get up here and then it's like, oh, okay, I guess it's alright. Takes the wind out of your sails. But it matters not. We'll head into the next chamber. I do believe I heard dogs up here, so I need to be careful. I think I'll switch to my saw spear for right now, because I need that extra damage for the beasts. Oh! A mad one! Come on, sweetheart. And the mad one will go down. And we got 21,000 echoes. Beautiful. So that I guess that wasn't dogs I heard. It was the mad one. Now they can be very dangerous in this chalice, in these kinds of dungeons where you have cursed. Because cursed will immediately set you on your stone where it's like you're basically vulnerable to the implications of them potentially getting an easy kill if they catch you in a wailing barrage of attacks, which is not something anyone really wants to get caught up in, but you definitely want the measure of security of not getting caught up in that. So patient, time your shots, and parry him so that you can get an easy kill on him. Just for that reason, as you can see, case in point of him just doing that much damage with 2 shots, but thankfully I was able to break the contact. Over here on the left, we will find a bold hunter mark in the form of 2, and blood vials, which we'll go ahead and use 1 more. And we have another mad one. Let's see if we can't lure her away. I don't want to fight her in this tight area. Come on, sweetheart. Come and get it. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Don't be all slow now. Wow. That should have counted. I don't know why I didn't stun lock her. That should have counted. That was a fair stun lock. That is so sick. Okay. No big deal. We'll bounce back. I was very disappointed by that because that should have counted. I got her right spot on the money, but for whatever reason, the animation didn't count. So, I'm gonna try the blunderbuss and see if that makes a bit of a difference. You know what I should do? Actually, I think what I will do is I'll go with the rifle spear. I think I'll go with the rifle spear. Rifle spear is up there. It's almost completely powered up to max. It might be just enough to unlock her. So we're gonna give that another go. I want another shot at that little witch. Now there you go. A little bit of difference there is that I had more damage with this rifle spear, but I was able to do a much more powerful visceral attack. Oh, okay. Nice try to ambush me. I think I'm going to use a blue elixir here. Let's see if I can get behind her on her rear by crossing over here a little bit. Not too concerned with getting the extra echoes from her. I just wanted her out of my way. See if I can use the blue elixir. I don't want to come too dependent on this. When I need it, it's not going to matter. Got her. Quicksilver bullets. Great. Alright, open up the coffin now, and inside we will find Ritual Blood level 5. So with that being said, we can now move on away from this area. we found what we needed. This is actually going to lead us to that chamber, which there's nothing there left for us to get. So we'll just head down the way we came, back to the main passage. What's this note here? There is no hidden path here. Rated that foul. What an asshole. That is such a dick move. Why do you guys do that? I mean, really, why would you make a note saying that there's a hidden path there when you know there clearly isn't? That is such a dick move. So we're going to go ahead in here and open up the path to the next layer of the Chalice Dungeon, level 2. It looks like this is going to be a looks like this is going to be a central elevator layer. This is a very unique layer, and the form is that this big, huge candelabra here in the center is actually a lantern elevator-like feature. Over here we have an old hunter. Prospector Olek we can summon. Here is our way out. So, but we're gonna take the path here first. I can hear a nightmare close by, so we're gonna go get him first. Here we have a cursed tempering blood gem. Go ahead and get the ghoulie out of here. Change our weapon again to the rifle spear. And inside we'll get a cursed tempering blood gemstone from him. Up above us, you can see the ghoulie looking to fire a shot at us since he saw us. He's obviously got his own patrol with him, so we want to make sure we don't get caught up in that. Want to be careful with this guy because he got oil drums there, which he's going to try to catch us with that. Go ahead and get the Molotovs, and then over here on this body we will have bone marrow ash. We can hear there's a fucking poltergeist somewhere close by. She's very close, so keep your wits about you. Pretty sure she's above us. Oh, you little bitch. She fucking followed me. And we got another... Oh, we got a ghoulie with a rifle, and we got a mad one. Oh, I don't like those odds. We're not going to go that way. Not yet. Instead, we'll come back here. Now that we got rid of the poltergeist, we can ascend the ladder. I didn't really want to come to the top of the ladder and have her fight her up here. And here, over here, we got a small room. And inside, we'll find some frenzied cold blood. And then we will vacate back to the other area. I want to get this guy's attention. Hey, buddy. Hey, I'm talking to you. Come here. We gotta talk. Soft him up with a few attacks, and then visceral him, so you get a guaranteed kill. Now the next major measure I want to do is I want to take down these threats here, but I don't want to deal with the ghoulie. I want to see about getting past the ghoulie. Oh shit! Ah! I could hear a blood liquor below us, so obviously the ghoulies are getting a little attention. Over here, we'll grab the bone marrow ash off the body. I definitely don't want to deal with him. So we're going to equip some poison knives and whittle down his health a little bit. And we'll throw some regular knives as well, so... We'll go ahead and equip some bone marrow ash. Oh, I wasted it. Motherfucker. That's it for him. I definitely do want to try to get a easy kill on these guys if I can, so... Molotovs up the ass. Over here on the right, down the stairs, we'll find another Bolt Hunter mark. And then we will have Quicksilver bullets off of this one. And then we will have some blood vial from him. Now we're gonna go get that vile blood. So we're gonna equip our. We would usually use the Holy Moonlight Sword. Actually, the Holy Moonlight Sword is when you get it powerful, it will actually be more powerful when the Ludwig Holy Blade. But then again, I don't think so. I could be wrong because they're two very different weapons in terms of class. You know, the Ludwig Holy Sword and the Kirkhammer are strength-based weapons, whereas the Holy Moonlight Sword is an arcane and skill-based weapon. So, I mean, for me, the Holy Moonlight Sword, for this particular character with a skill style, is going to be way more beneficial than the other one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to equip the Ludwig Sword and go kill this fucking Bloodlicker. And there we got 12,000 just for the Bloodlicker. Over here we got Frenzy Cold Blood. Obviously this is going to be a case of where we don't really want to get ambushed, but she's going to see us coming, so we have another strategy we can employ. We're going to go up and out this way. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to go up the elevator, which if you stand on this pedestal, it'll basically rise this candelabra, if you will, to the upper level. This will give us access to the area that you saw earlier with the door. It'll also hold secrets in the form of some items up here that we may have to find. So, but you have to be careful because usually there's some witches up here, or there could be ghoulies patrolling. It's kind of, it has a risk, but there's a chest. So inside we'll find 5 ritual blood, and what we'll do is basically we will take the elevator back down, and what we'll do is we'll step back on it and send it back up, because it'll actually open up a chamber access down below. And now we have a immediate access point here. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. I stepped on the switch there. So what we want to do is we want to get the upper hand here. So we're going to go ahead and drop down. Hopefully she doesn't hear us. Good. We have the element of surprise. So we'll do a huge heavy thrust attack, followed up with an R2 extra secondary heavy attack. And if that doesn't finish her, obviously we'll switch to L2 and we'll do another heavy light attack with our weapons. So, like, 1, 2, 3. Done. And that will basically seal the deal on her. If there's more vile bloods like that, we probably want to keep our ears open because there may be more opportunities to get some easy echoes. 12,000 echoes I will not say no to. And neither should you. Entirely depends on how good you are at avoiding the impact of the death. Man, look at that one. Look at that blood. That's from killing that one bug. Oh, that's right. Up here. I forgot. I gotta go get that switch to open the door, but to get to it, I gotta go fight those fucking two. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. It's gonna be so nerve-wracking. This is obviously not going to give me a second. It's not going to give me an optional access point, I don't think, unless I missed it. So let me take another quick look up here and make sure, because if I got to fight those fuckers head on, I'm not going to look forward to it, because that's going to be a dangerous fight. Yep, it looks like I'm going to have to fight them head on. So I'll just have to see what I can do here. I'm not going to be able to fight. I'm not going to be able to focus my attention on the mad one while the ghoulie is providing support fire with his rifle. So I'm going to need to split them up somehow. So we're going to head downstairs again. And we're going to have to find our way to get we're going to have to find a way to get this bitch away from him. If I could use my blue elixir, I could, but I the rifleman will almost the ghoulie will almost certainly see me the second I ascend the stairs. Ah, whatever, bro. Alright, I'm going to need to use blue elixir, and maybe if I'm lucky, I can do some damage to this asshole enough to where he's not going to be able to do much in the way of harm. Some quicksilver bullets, see if we can get slipped by here on the right. Oof, that was really nerve-wracking. Does it make me not? Does it, I gotta look up blue elixir. I think it makes you hard to hit too. It doesn't just make you invisible; it makes you translucent, so you're like air. So if that's the case, then man, I need to invest in more of that. I need to look it up. I'm not sure. I thought it just made you invisible, but there's a few times she did not hit me, and she should have hit me because I wasn't doing too much to dodge. So now that we've pretty much bypassed that little circus, let's make our way out. Pretty sure we'll hear a blood liquor, though. If we do, we'll go back for it. I know I said I wasn't going to go back for blood liquors, but for 12,000 echoes a pop, I can't say no to that. Up. There we go. She is right on schedule. There she is. I think I'm going to want to use lead elixir if I can. Kind of glad I used that because she almost would have stun locked me and killed me easy enough. Obviously, the lead elixir makes you heavy, so you have to really put in stamina effort to run. But now it's worn off, so thankfully it didn't last too long. Sounds like the other one is above me. There she is. Oh, over here is some blood vials, so I'll take that. Go walking very slow. To our left. And she's dead. So. Now we'll take the elevator back down. And head to our next major chalice dungeon. And we got another side area here, so we'll take that. Ah, we got a ghoulie. We'll creep up behind him and get an easy takedown. Some blood vials. Passage leading to the left, I see. A passage leading here. What do we have down there? Anything of relevancy? I hear fire. More easy echoes. Very nice. Ah, there's our boy. Hey! Come on! Now here it looks like we've got a mad one directly ahead of us, so we'll go ahead and dispatch her. Silver bullets. I'll definitely lead these ones away one by one. Oh, we got a rifleman. I gotta definitely lead these other ones away. Come on, boy. Oh, you motherfucker! Try hard. Check the walls for any hidden passages. Nothing. Great. And we'll head up. Back the way we were. Careful proceeding through. Make sure there's no ambushes. We got a hidden trapdoor here. What does this do? Oh, a trap. Oh, okay. I'm always curious what that's gonna do, and then I press the switch. It's like, oh, an ambush. In distance, I can see we got a watchman, a jailer, whatever you want to call it. Nothing here, but we have a chest. Open the chest. Ritual blood level 5. 3 of those. We got multiple ghoulies, I can see. So with that, we're going to open the coffin now, and inside we will find an inflicted organ. And now we will make our way out. But we'll keep our eyes open by our rear, because I want to see if there's going to be a quintessential little vile blood that'll spawn. Which I'm sure there will be. Doesn't look like one's down here yet, so let's go back up and take another look. Make sure. Nope, doesn't look like it. Not yet. So I guess we'll just make our way out. Ooh, that would have been bad. Ascend the ladder. We'll probably come back if we beat the boss. We'll come back and we'll take a look and make sure. But here we have another... the Queen Killer. I think I know it's going to be the next boss fight, and I am really not hoping it is what I think it is. So, but we're going to go ahead and summon the Queen Killer. This is a very unique one because he's actually naked. He's got one piece of gear on him, and he's got a cannon, and he's got, I think, an Amidala arm, I think. So, we'll see what we get. Oh, yeah. Martyr Ligarius. He's got his Ligarius wheel. He's got a cannon. Yeah, this is a... yeah, that's a very bizarre one. He's just naked and running around down here with us. So, oh, yep. Watch Lord of the Old Lords. Definitely want to change my gear fast as I can. While he buys me some time, he will. Hello there, dear. How you doing, Lily Love? So pretty much the Watchdog of the Old Lords will basically be pretty much like your traditional one, except it's much more dangerous with the added effects of the curse. So just keep your distance, mirroring his attacks as you go. I'm doing well, hun. Oh, I died. Damn it. That fire attack is really powerful, so... Damn. Okay. We actually got pretty decent there. We got halfway through his health, but he ended up getting me with his fire. That is so disappointing. So we're gonna have to rush back there, get our echoes, hopefully not die. We can't really summon another one of those old lord hunters because I don't want to take the risk of losing my my insight. I've got insight. I don't want to burn all of it. I mean, I could, but I don't really want to. So we'll go ahead and head back in. We'll avoid his charge. I'm sure he'll do one. Like I said, he's a beast. He's going to be vulnerable to serrated damage. So that's basically your biggest go-to is right now, so as far as that goes. Oh, he killed me again. Damn. Okay. That was a very heavy-hitting attack. I'm glad I got my echoes back. But I lost them again. I'm doing good, dear. I hope you're having a great weekend. Alright, let's try this dance again. With focus. And a polished disposition. I think I need to have my weapon stronger. Either that or I need my stats improved. Worst case scenario, if I don't do this, I'll probably just bounce out of this Chalice Dungeon, and then I'll come back to it when I have more power. But I'm pretty confident I can get him. Happy New Year to you, dear. Did you do anything fun for your New Year's? He got me again! Oh, you son of a bitch! Yeah, I just gotta get my echoes and I gotta get out of here. He's too strong. I'm not strong enough yet to take him down. I mean, I could probably take him down, but I literally can't get hit, like, at all. I need to literally keep my focus away from him. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can call for insight. I think I got insight. No, I don't have any insight. Oh, I'm sorry, Han. Well, Hopefully you did something this weekend that makes up for that and you had a good time. No, I just basically stayed home. We all pretty much slept in. I was actually still sick. I was sick on Christmas and I was still sick on New Year's. But thankfully I was feeling a lot better. Terrible headaches and still, that cold not wanting to let me go. So let's dodge around them, get our echoes. Oh. Gonna cost a spell and I'm gonna use my bold hunter mark and get out of here. I'll take him on later. He's too powerful. I'm not ready for him yet. I need my strength improved. I need better runes, I need better strength. So Cursed Chalice dungeons are not very easy. They're actually very hard, but as you can see, the reward of completing them is pretty beneficial. So I eventually will go back and do that, but it's not going to be right now.
Welcome home, good hunter.
I am feeling better. I'm very glad about it.
Very well. Let me.
So right away, we're going to go ahead and improve our endurance. We're going to improve actually, we'll improve our endurance by 1, we'll improve our arcane by 1, and we'll improve our skill by 1. And then we'll use what we have to see about upgrading our weapons. We'll repair them, and we'll upgrade them. If we can. I don't know if we have enough gems. I don't think we have enough. We don't have any bloodstone shards, so we're just gonna have to go with it as we find it. Matter of fact, you know what? I got a better idea. We're gonna go ahead and get into the DLC of the old hunters. So let's change our gear now. We're obviously not doing the Chalice dungeon at this point. We're taking a sabbatical from that for now. So we're going to go ahead and head into the Old Hunters DLC. We obviously left off last time where we took down Ludwig the Accursed, Mr. Ed from Hell. So we'll have that chamber with the underground corpse pile. So we'll head there. And the next stage of our quest with Simon will be open to us now. So we'll go ahead and pursue that. So what we'll do is, as we see over here, Simon will be over here, lamenting over Ludwig the Accursed.
A tragic figure, but he will shame himself no longer. He died with his ideals untarnished. He was a true hero, and earned that much at least. Do you know why the hunters are drawn to this nightmare? Because it sprouted from their very misdeeds. Things that some would rather keep secret. A pitiful tale of petty arrogance, really. High time someone exposed the whole charade. Now, go on ahead. You seek nightmares and the secrets within, do you not?
So with that being said, Simon pretty much will remain here for the foreseeable future until the next stage of the quest is open to us. So to get there, we need to pursue forward into the next stage of our mission here. So basically, we're going to go ahead up here, have your shaman bone blade, and this is going to be a very unique weapon. You'll get to love this weapon a lot as time goes on.
With steady stride, colored by blood, but always clear of mind. Proud under the church. Beasts are a curse, and the curse is a shackle. Only ye, the true blades of the church.
Obviously, this guy is losing his marbles a bit, but he's in there basically as a prisoner. We can't open the door yet. We don't have access to the key, but when in time we will. So what we will do is in the head we will have another enemy church servant coming by, as well as a wheelchair-bound man. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for them to slip on by, or at the very least come and then turn around. So as you can see, here he comes. Oh! And see, and that's why I wanted to wait for them to come back. But the wheelchair man apparently had other plans. He decided to linger. It's okay. I kind of expected. I was thinking that was going to happen. I didn't have a real I didn't really have a way to hide. I was looking for one of those doors to open, but it doesn't look like one of those. I need a key to open those doors. So it's okay. I'll go back and get my echoes. Obviously, I'm going to need to kill those assholes. I got my echoes back, so. You're an asshole, old man. Get out of my sight. The old man will drop antidote. And here is another locked door. A lot of these cell doors will be locked, so the only way to open them is you need the cell door key, which we will find later on. So, but it's really dark in here, so let's put on our lantern. Let's break out our torch. In here, we'll find another sub-weapon in the form of the Fist of Gratia. Now, I'm not really sure how exactly to really use this effectively. I'm still struggling to this day to figure out how to use it effectively, but essentially, it is a physical attack weapon. It's handy if you run out of bullets, but basically it is a giant, huge, like, I guess you would call it like a brass knuckles kind of weapon. It's basically a giant, like, gauntlet thing. A chunk of iron fitted with finger holes. The hulking hunter woman, simple known as Gratia, ever hopeless with handling hunter firearms, preferred to knock the lights out of beasts with the hunk of iron. So basically, essentially, it's a really primitive version of brass knucks. But basically, if you run out of ammo, this thing will deliver a hard punch where it will stun them, similar to what we would do with the Blade of Mercy. I'm not entirely gifted with it yet. I'm going to try to get practice with it, but I'm not too keen on it yet. I imagine I'll get used to it more as time goes on, but as far as right now goes, I can't really see a sensible way of using it effectively. In here, nothing will be in this room. This room is interesting because this will actually hold the church hunter, the church pick, another righteous weapon for vile bloods, and a unique weapon that you can get elsewise. In here, there will be nothing except on this body in the form of frenzied cold blood. Down here will be another unique hunter. But he will not be really so much a quest line. It's in a way it's a quest line, but it's actually more of an enemy that will stalk you near the end of the game. So once you go in here, you'll find if you pull on your binocular, you can actually see inside. He's essentially just sitting there ringing his bell. Now the unique thing about the bell is it will enable him to teleport out of here and make copies of himself constantly trying to kill you. He's a real pain in the ass. But if you fight him 4 times and you beat him 4 times, you'll get each piece of gear he wears. One of which is that really gnarly looking head skin of a cleric beast he's killed. So, go ahead and talk to him.
Hunter. Well, that's very odd. Do you hear the toll of the bell? Liar. Such pettiness will be your undoing. The beast you seek will not be found here. Go back to your hunt. And places better left untouched. Secrets better left alone. Only a fool would so brazenly roam.
Yeah, it's good. It's a very unique weapon. I would never use it myself, but if I run out of ammo, that's usually what I would go to. So we have Simon back at the corpse pile. He was telling us to seek the secrets out of the hunter's nightmare. This one, I forget his name, he is telling us to forget secrets. So he's kind of a church threat. He's a church hunter who's protecting the church's secrets. So in a sense, he's kind of a bit of a threat in that regard, but he won't become a threat until much later in the game. Otherwise, in that scope, he basically is not really of anything of significance until later in the game. So we'll basically find out later when he becomes a threat where his allegiances lie, which basically is to protect the church's dirty laundry. The church has got some dirty secrets, and he's here to protect it. He's locked himself in specifically to protect them. So basically, when we become a problem, he's going to become our problem. So at the far end of this hall, we're going to have the stairwell leading up. And directly ahead of us, we will find a church, two church hunters in this room we will have to take out. But first, we're going to deal with the rats over here. Grab the bloodstone chunk. Devil, what do you want? I'm busy. My cat is looking for attention. Being an absolute prima donna. What do you want? I don't have anything for you. What do you want, little devil? What do you want? You're a baby. You're a baby. So right away, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready. So obviously, the biggest thing we're going to have to contend with here is they're going to have magic on their side, so they're going to have arcane elements. So what we're going to need is something to really kind of give us the edge in putting them down. So first thing we're going to need is we're going to need some fire paper. I probably will use lead elixir when I get desperate, as well as some throwing knives and numbing mist. I definitely don't want these guys to heal. And we're going to change our weapon. We're going to go ahead with the rifle spear. Well, no, not the rifle spear, because we can't use the fire paper with that, and we can't use... So we'll change our weapons here. We're going to go with the threaded cane, and we're going to go with the saw spear. So right away, right from the start, we're going to have those features on our side. And the second we enter the room, we're going to be engaged directly from our front ahead of us, as you can see. There's a church hunter praying, a choir, a hunter, and then there's going to be one to our right, which is hidden away, that will actually come out in support of her. I'm going to go ahead and equip the elixir as well to give me the added protection we need. So hopefully this will give us something of a protection. Nope, doesn't look like it. So we got rid of her. Now it's time for her. Come on, lady. Well, we got rid of one of them. We'll have to get rid of the other one. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass because all she does is stay back and use that magic spell, which basically is like arcane damage. It does arcane. Actually, I should probably change my outfit to something with arcane protection, because that is like a huge hang up to contend with. So we're right back here again. We'll change our outfit once we get through these enemies again in this damn hallway. Alright. Let's try this dance again. So we're gonna head up the stairs again. We'll dispatch the rats. Our echoes will be right there. We've already taken out the one hunter, so we don't have to worry about fighting two at a time. We just need to focus on her now. We got a poison knife off this rat. And now we'll head over here, grab our echoes, and go take care of this little witch. But before we do that, we're going to put on some protection for some arcane. So obviously arcane is the star symbol over there for damage reduction. So we're going to want something with damage. We're going to want something with protection from arcane. So let's see. We got the Crown of Illusions. I think probably... Tomb Prospector. Yeah, definitely not good arcane protection for that one, so... Trying to find the... The Choir Garb will give you the best protection for arcane, but I don't want to take too much away from physical defenses, because that's the thing. So I'll just go with the Tomb Prospector Garb. Grab our echoes. I'm not really I kind of need to look up and see which one of these hunters is vulnerable to what, because that actually would be helpful. I think some hunters are vulnerable to certain weapons or certain, you know, whatever they're wearing at that given time. You think that eye is gonna save you, you fucking coward? Where you going? What's up? What's up? So there we go. She's been taken care of, little bitch. Now we'll put our outfit back on that we were wearing. And now, basically, just take a quick second to look around. Usually, there's going to be a point up there. We're going to need to get up there. We can't get up there from where we're at, but we will get up there eventually because we're going to head to the next staging area for the exploration of the Old Hunters DLC. So, if you remember correctly, we got a key item from the previous stream in the form of the eye pendant. That we got that from the church where the cleric beast was... The burning cleric beast was located. We're going to use this to raise this table up. So, by putting the eye pendant inside the head of the corpse, as the saying goes, grant us eyes. The choir basically created this elevator to access the upper clinic, where they've been experimenting. This is where the Healing Church got its bones made, was basically experimenting in the Hunter's Nightmare with the old blood. By experimenting with the old blood, they were able to create blood healing. But what kind of experiments did they do? You're about to find out. So here, up here is going to be where we light this lantern. And inside this area here, where we will enter the research hall. But before we go further beyond that point, we're going to go back down, because there's something we need to grab, and there's actually a new boss fight we can now get access to, which we're going to get around to doing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to activate the ladder, the elevator, and we're going to wait for it to go all the way up, because down below is actually a hidden chamber. An altar which will hold Lawrence's skull, which is Lawrence, if you remember, Master Willem's protege, who is the maker and the founder of the Healing Church. This is basically his skull. So now we're gonna head down the elevator. We're gonna actually pull the lever. And what we're going to do is get back on the elevator, and it's going to take us down now. And at the bottom of this chamber, we'll find a chest here. And inside this chest, we will find the church cannon. Now, the church cannon, unlike the traditional cannon, is a very different kind of weapon. Obviously, the cannon is a pretty powerful weapon. It fires one solid explosive shell with 12 quicksilver rounds used in tandem. But the unique thing about the church cannon is it fires a explosive shell half the damage. It uses 2 bullets less, but it does it with an arc trajectory. So it's essentially a sort of mortar style shell. So it's very handy if you're shelling a huge area with lots of weak enemies. Very handy if you're going to go for that kind of kill. But again, it's a blood tinge weapon, so a single shot will use of half of your ammo. So if you're going to use one of these types of weapons, you want to have visceral attacks that gives you quicksilver bullets, and you want to use it very sparingly, provided you have the measure of actually compensating for it with additional quicksilver rounds or a means of recouping quicksilver rounds. So, but now that we have that, that will be another unique weapon for your arsenal within the DLC. But now that we have Lawrence's skull, we can actually go fight Lawrence the First Vicar, which is actually that burning cleric beast that we saw earlier, which is exactly what we are going to go do right now. So we're going to head down the steps here, and we're going to head back to the corpse pile. We're going to go ahead and get a couple of resources, and we're going to change our runes, because we're going to need the extra power protection of runes. So right away, what we're going to want is we're going to want to change our moon rune. We're going to want to change our clockwise metamorphosis rune. We're going to want to change our air rune, and we're going to want to go for let's see. We're going to want to get all resistance types. No, I don't want that. What I want is more fire protection. All damage reduction by 4, so we want that. This guy is going to be a nasty, nasty fucker, so we're going to need every edge we can find. So here we have fire damage protection. And I think we're going to want... I'm going to go with all damage reduction by 4% for now. And we're going to go with... I'm going to go with stamina recovery. We're going to need to resupply ourselves, so we'll check our stash and get ourselves some much needed resources. Now, because he's on fire, unlike our first encounter with the cleric beast that we engaged in the first part of the game, we're not going to be able to use fire on him. This is going to make it a little bit more difficult, because he is a beast and he should be susceptible to fire. But because he is on fire, he's not taking any damage, and any fire damage he does take will be not as effective as it could be. So we're going to need to raise our the scale of what we're gonna be aiming for in that guard. So we're gonna go ahead and burn these echoes out, because I definitely do not want to lose these if I get killed by him. So we're just gonna go ahead and burn them. Buy a couple bloodstone shards. Buy 6 twinstone shards. go ahead and buy 2 throwing knives. You know, just get rid of them. I don't care what you do with them. Just burn them. Make sure you don't lose them. You'd rather want to spend them on stuff you don't need versus stuff you do need, and you don't really want to see yourself burning, losing out good resources. So what we're gonna do is head up here, and we're gonna go ahead and head to the Hunter's Nightmare. This is the closest access point to the church where he is. So we're basically gonna have to get started by heading out here, and we're gonna head up and around this area where we encountered before. Obviously, the old hunter will be ahead of us, so we want to wait for him to deal with them, and then we will deal with him and go from there. Go ahead and get whatever resources we need. Obviously, we'll get a Tempering Blood Gem from that. You don't necessarily have to fight them. It's just simply a matter of just getting echoes. So right away, we'll go ahead up here. Obviously, we got these old hunters giving us grief. Lure these guys in front of his path if you can. And then basically just get whatever is left of them. Now obviously we'll have to deal with this asshole again up here. But that's okay because we have a bit of a benefit to our being strong enough to deal it now. They weakened him enough to where this should kill him outright. Okay, it didn't, so we're gonna just go ahead and... Ah, you fucking dick. So with that being said, now that we pretty much have approached this point, what we're going to do is put on our best fire protection attire. Obviously, that's going to include a number of things. And basically, that will pretty much be our attire for this particular fight. We're going to need the threaded... We can use the threaded cane, or you can use the... boon of the saw spear. I like to use the saw spear. I could go with the threaded cane, but I think ultimately it depends really on what you're going for. I think I'll try the threaded cane for now, but you definitely want it in transform mode. It's definitely a lot more powerful, but you want the teeth. That's what you want. And then we're going to go about getting... yeah. Let's go ahead and use a Bone Marrow Ash. We're going to need a lot of firepower. We're not going to have the benefits of weaponry in this regard, so we're going to need whatever we can get. So let's go ahead and have our hunter pistol, our threaded cane, and remember, it's important a couple of things. Number one, his left arm is his biggest arm he has. So a lot of his attacks are going to be with the left arm, so you want to avoid that. Most of the attacks that the original cleric beast in the early part of the game, well, now this one will do the same attacks. A lot of his moves will very choreographed, so you'll know them by heart by now. If you don't know them, then you should have known them. But a lot of them will have a fiery, explosive element at the end. So if the attack itself doesn't hit you, the explosive compound will. Now, as you get to the final stage of the fight is where it really gets hard, because at the final stage of the fight, his bottom part of his body, his legs essentially, will completely obliterate and explode. This will create a new problem. He will become increasingly aggressive and his damage will be higher. The other problem is that he will be constantly bleeding magma or lava or fire blood or whatever you want to call it from his bottom half. So everywhere he crawls around, and that's essentially what he'll do, he will be crawling around this entire area trying to smash you to shit. Now, the best thing I can stress is that it's going to be difficult, but you need to get to his side, preferably his right side, not his left. His left side is his big arm, so get to the opposite side that isn't his biggest arm, because that's going to be the main use of his means he's going to use. The reason why you want to stay to his side at all times is because there's going to be attack sequences where he's going to be like literally like rampaging super fast to get to you. If you get caught in the path of that, there is no getting out of it. He will stun lock you, and eventually he will kill you. If you cannot get out of there, you need to get as far away from it as you possibly can. It's a big room. You should have plenty of room to maneuver, but the biggest thing is you want to stay as close to him as possible. Stupid, crazy sounding, I know, but that's the best strategy I can suggest, because ultimately, if you're close to his right side, you will be able to initiate attacks to finish him off, but at the same time, you will be able to keep yourself tight and close enough to his position where he will not be able to attack you. There will be certain attacks where he's able to literally pivot his body 90 degrees and hit you, but if you're careful and you can telegraph it, you should be able to avoid those attacks altogether. Again, I stress this is a very hard fight. Now, don't be fooled. If I do happen to kick his ass really fast, that doesn't necessarily mean I always will, because as the game gets harder with New Game Plus, it will get increasingly more difficult to take him down, because he is such an aggressive fight. Ludwig, and if I had to put bosses in the top 5, I would have to say Ludwig the Accursed is probably number 2. The Orphan of Kos is probably number 1. Lady Maria is probably number 4. Ludwig the Accursed is probably number 3. And number 5, I would probably have to give to... I want to say one of the Chalice Dungeon bosses. It depends. Either Amidala, Chalice Dungeon boss. You know, it's hard to say. It could be the Chalice Dungeon boss, or it could be the Blood-Starved Beast. Blood-Starved Beast, I think, would be number 5. So, but yeah, let's get started. Enough of my gabbing. So as soon as you approach, if you have the skull of Lawrence on you, the body of Lawrence will wake up. This is actually Lawrence. This is what became of Lawrence after he took the special blood. He became this nightmare, and they killed him. And this is what's left of him. What's wrong? You thought you were doing everybody such a favor with the healing church. Now they betrayed you. How does it feel, buddy? think I definitely... As you can see, like I said, it's going to be a lot of area of attacks where it's going to be pretty damaging. But you want to avoid the explosive element of the fire. And there you go. So as you can see, it's hard. It's harder with him than your traditional cleric beast because he has the fire element, which I think is absolutely I think it's an incredibly cheap strategy for them to have him with imbued with fire, but somehow we're not able to use fire to hurt him. So we're, that's basically what we're gonna have happen, and don't be discouraged. If you get killed a lot, it's okay. You're gonna die a lot. It's unavoidable. You're gonna run into that pickle. It's just something that's just gonna happen. So at this point, we're just gonna run past all these enemies and get back to what we were doing. We can take a few of these enemies down in the event we can get some resources, blood vials, because it goes without saying that's basically gonna hemorrhage our resources. This motherfucker is just gonna follow us, really. Like, take the hint, guy. I'm not interested. So we're gonna get right back up there. I think we're definitely going to stick with our thread. I think we're definitely going to stick with our saw spear, though. And the rifle spear. Really, guy? Dickhead. Alright, let's try this dance again. If this doesn't work out this way, I may actually go back to the Hunter's Dream and change out my all damage for additional protection from fire. Because it's clearly the sky is the biggest threat you have to contend with is not just the physical damage, but it's also the fire. I mean, look how big that area of attack is. That's just insane. We got a visceral attack. Aiming at his head will set him up for visceral attacks, which is good for us. Trying to get behind him is very difficult. Come on! Alright, I'm going back to get fire. I need fire protection. This asshole is clearly not gonna budge. This is what makes him such a. It's if anything, I would say he's definitely in the top. He has to be either number 2 or number 3 because I have such a hard time fighting him. I have such a terrible time fighting him. His attacks are so cheap, and he has literally. You can't even get close to him to do any damage. I mean, the only way you could actually do damage is to just shoot the shit out of him. But ultimately, he's not very vulnerable to blood tinge, and his attacks are increasingly just incredibly impossible to find out. You can't really find a loop through it. That's the thing. You can't find a way through it without getting hit. So we got that one equipped. We're going to add this one on it. Let me see if I can't get something with a little bit more in the way of fire protection. I think... I don't have another one. Oh, I don't have another one equipped. Wow. Okay. All right. All protection resistant. Great Lake. All damage reduction by 4%. That only brings it up to 433. I can't really see it, but I'm pretty sure it says 433 on fire protection. This gives me protections for status effects, not for impact. So this is going to be Great Lake is what I'm going to go with. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I think I'll also do... yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'll do. So let's try our luck and see if we get lucky. But you can see now why I was very adamant to burn my echoes, because I knew this asshole was going to be a pain in my ass. And I was right, so sure as can be, here we go. So let's go ahead and get back up there. Give ourselves some blood bullets and get back into the thick of it. We'll run up there, bypass this asshole. Hopefully he won't follow us this time. Tempering blood gemstone. And a blood vial. Oh, there's also another thing I want to show while I'm here, because there's 2 items I forgot to grab while I was in this area. It just occurred to me, are actually outfit items, which we're going to go about getting. Shut your ass up. Blood vials and quicksilver bullets. Perfect. Now, hopefully, the added 5% fire protection will make a difference. Jesus, man, look at that! I tell you, bro, I really can't wait to get rid of this asshole. He's an absolute knob. Really? I'm off to his left, but he manages to hit me. Okay. Fucker. Visceral attack. Oh, he got me. Don't fuck me up. Don't fuck me up. Please don't fuck me up. Oh, man, that hurt. He grabbed me and he just slammed me down 4 times. Oh! Whoa, chill! Jesus, man. This fucking guy. You had to just burn him. You couldn't just dismember the son of a bitch. I mean, this is, that's just so sick. So let's go again. This is gonna be a hit and this is gonna be a constant. This is. Yep, motherfucker. I'm in the no mood, buddy. I mean, this is a tough fight. This is tough for me. I've fought this asshole a couple times, but he's you could definitely see where it is a challenge. But I think this is one of those instances that is a real turnoff for Soulsborne from Software games. I get where players are coming from that are new to Soulsborne games and from Software games. Or like a challenge. Within reason. I think if you are going to give players a challenge, you have to give them the sensibilities to actually be able to handle the measures of that challenge. If they can't do that, then that's not so much a case of the players not being able to. That's a case of, that's a case of players, more or less struggling because, well, you kind of set the bar to a strangling position. You have to be reasonable. I mean, I think this is not really too reasonable. I mean, I get close. I won't deny that, but I'm burning my resources, and I don't want to keep doing this. If it comes down to it, I may have to pull the plug and just come back to this later, because I'm clearly not getting strong enough attention to pursue it. That one goddamn attack that screwed me up was the one that where he launched himself forward and got me with like so many different very taunts. So I think the best strategy I can come up with right now is basically to do 2-hit attacks and then break off contact. Another visceral. And now we're at the stage. So we're now at the third stage. We want to stay to his left side, if we can get close enough. And this is the attack you want to avoid. He will constantly keep trying to do that, and then basically you want to just take advantage of that. Stay to his left and just take a shot. Break contact if you have to get close enough. Stay to his left and avoid the fire spew. It's probably best to use the not the spear version, but you want to use the saw version. Fuck! At this point, I'm just gonna fucking shoot him. Got him. Oh. Wow. That was intense. But that's basically what you want to do. You want to stay to his right, your left. Basically, when you're facing him, stay to his right side so you can avoid that giant-ass arm. And as you can see, he was trying to, if you could do that, he's circling the area trying to get to you. But because you're so close, he can't reach you. The only thing you got to watch out for is those huge swinging arc attacks from his left to his right and from his right to his left. If you can avoid those, you can actually get him. And obviously, he spews fire out the front and he hemorrhages fire out the back, which creates a fire damage factor of threat. But because I had the fire damage protection on, I was able to get through that. I'm not gonna lie, that actually made my heart skip a beat because I was like, I am oh no, shit, and I'm like, and then of course I'm like trying to avoid it. That was a good fight. That was actually intense at that last minute, but I managed to get him at that tail end. So if you can avoid, I think that's the best strategy to have. In the early stage, if I remember correctly, you want to do hit and run tactics. So you want to do 1, 2, maybe push your luck and get a third hit in there, and then break off contact from the first part of the fight. But the second you get like his health down to a third of health, you want to avail. You obviously see his legs will explode. He won't be able to get as much mobility, but he will still be increasingly more dangerous because he's way more aggressive. So avoiding the fire is pivotal. But the biggest thing you have to contend with is that final stage, and that final stage can be do or die. As you can see from all the echoes we're seeing, there's plenty of hunters here that are fighting this asshole, and they're probably having a hard time fighting them. So, but I mean, this is a place where you will find a proprietary number of players fighting tooth and nail to stay alive. And sometimes they'll succeed, and sometimes they won't. But that is, like I said, easily one of the top 3 tough boss fights you'll face in this game. If you can beat this asshole, there's nothing you can't play in Bloodborne. If you could beat this guy, there's nothing you can't do. And actually, I've had players, literally, I've said before and I'll say it again, I've had people actually from Soulsborne and from Software Games tell me, if you can play Bloodborne, you can play any Soulsborne game. Hence why I'm playing the remake of Demon's Souls, and eventually, maybe, at some point, I'll probably try playing Sekiro. I'm not particularly fond of the idea, but I will give it a shot because I've heard good things about it, and it's got a stealth system, so I would probably see myself trying that. There's a few Soulsborne games out there. There's Lies of P, there's Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, there's Elden Ring, there's Dark Souls, there's Demon Souls, there's 2 or... I can't remember if it's Demon Souls 1, 2, and 3, or Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, but I know Demon Souls is probably, like, in its own way, a game in itself. After contending with that, I'm going to show you those items that we left behind, which there is actually 2 of them, which we're going to find. Now, the item we actually got off of Lawrence, the first Vicar boss fight, is actually the Beast's Embrace room. Now, this basically stacks with the Beast rune. So you get 100 Beast temporary transformation, 50 and 20. The Beast's Embrace rune will actually make you into a full-fledged beast. We don't have the Beast Claw yet, which is a unique weapon for this weapon to work. So we're going to go ahead and save that for later, but it's actually really cool. So I'll show you that later. But right now, we're going to head down here. I'm going to engage these enemies. Obviously, this hunter with the damn we definitely want to get rid of him because he's a pain in the ass. He'll drop a Radiant Blood Gem, and then what we'll do is we'll head into this area here, equip our lantern, and get rid of these threats first. Fucking jerk. Get out of here. So right away, obviously, that was where we went down initially from the previous stream, but down here is where I forgot one little item in the form of another outfit piece of the Old Hunter top hat. Now, I am not a fan of this. It looks really, really ridiculous, but basically that is the idea of it right there. So you get various different styles of aesthetics that you can run with. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to use the... I don't really want to go forward without all my resources really depleted, so we're going to push our luck and see what we can get from here. I'm going to see if I can get back to where I was. If I can, great. If I can't, then I'm not taking the chance. Obviously, these guys are a pain in the ass, so we're clearly not going to get that far, so we're just going to use our bold hunter mark and get out of here. I'm not going to take the risk of getting killed. And I can actually get to where I need. The second thing I can get to a lot faster by coming back to this point, so it's perfectly fine. I'll take the extra trip. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and equip our rifle spear. And we'll go ahead and port back to the Hunter's Dream real quick. And we will go about up to the gravestone again, and this time we will go to the Nightmare Church, which is where we want to be. That's actually where our next item is that I forgot, so bear with me. So right away from the start, we're going to be heading out here, and they're going to be the church ghouls, or whatever you want to call them. Basically, this one's going to have the church cannon, and then we're going to have the one moving over there with the axe. We're going to want to get through these guys first, because what we need is further in the back. So we're going to go ahead and wait for the church axe guy to come out. Anytime you want, buddy. That was not going to come out, so we'll just get rid of this one first. And we'll take our approach to this one and get on his rear, and boom! There's one. Just catch him in overlapping backstab attacks, and that's it. That'll do it. He will drop some blood vials. This one will drop quicksilver bullets. So we got a big replenishment of supplies there. Now where we're going to find our item is going to be over here where the church axe guy was. So come in here, and to our left in this little alcove here, we will find the butcher outfit with the butcher mask, the butcher garb, the butcher gloves, and the butcher trousers. And that will pretty much be that in that capacity. Later parts of the mission, you'll find other items in other areas. It's pretty much self-evident. Get the witch here and get her out of our way. Easy opportunities to replenish your resupplies here, because you burned a lot of them doing that fight. Go ahead and kill the corpse, and he will drop 5 blood vials as well. And then we will head back through this chamber where we took down Ludwig. And inside we will find ourselves here at the lantern. Simon obviously still there. Simon will relocate as well to the research hall once we get into exploring that. But for right now, we're not going to do much more of the exploration in that particular one. Instead, what we're going to do is resupply ourselves with... obviously we're going to do quicksilver bullets. Do we really need that many? No, I don't think we really do. We will buy some twin bloodstone shards though. But what we will do now is we're going to get started on the main quest line again. So as we left off earlier, we pretty much had come to the Yargul Unseen Village, and we obviously came to the Yargul Chapel. So we're going to head back to the Yargul Chapel and continue with the main storyline as far as with the game. We'll continue the DLC, and we'll continue the Chalice Dungeons, but I want to get a little bit more progressive work done in the Yargul Unseen Village. And the important thing right away is we want to have our saw spear, our saw cleaver ready, because over here we're going to find a nightmare trying to get away, which we're going to stop. And on that nightmare, we will find a bloodstone chunk. Out here, obviously, we have more of the amygdalas basically lurking all over the place. So to get through them, we're going to need to navigate and getting our way there. So pretty much take care of the phantoms created by that bell ringing bitch somewhere. We just gotta find her. But we want to get rid of the dogs. Get rid of the troll created by blood magic. And the witch is going to be right somewhere around here, but we need to find her. But we're actually going to be focused more on basically dealing with her. Probably she's down there, I think is where she is. But basically, if you remember this position, we're right back at the Hyperon goal. Now, obviously, we can't use the lantern to teleport here no more because it's been destroyed, as you can see. But we have a new pressing problem, and that is going to be that we have the issue of hunters now occupying this area. Now, there are 3 hunters here. One is actually right down there below us. These are the Yargul hunters. The Yargul hunters basically are going to be the antithesis of 3 hunters. This one here with the beast claw and a pistol, it looks like. This one here, which is going to have a cannon and a rifle spear. And then another one which is going to have a threaded cane and I believe a blunderbuss. Now, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get the advantage of getting these guys separated. So, drink some blue elixir to get the advantage. And what we're going to do is, these 2 are here, but the third one is going to be right down here. He's going to have a flame sprayer and a threaded cane. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the advantage of taking care of him first. So in order to do that, we're going to need to slip in behind him and dispatch him. Obviously, we're not going to do it in one shot. But I'm pretty sure the others will come running when they hear the fight, so we're going to want to do this quickly. Which, luckily, we didn't have that issue, so that's good. He will drop Madmen's Knowledge, and then we're going to drink the blue elixir again. And the reason being is we're going to slip in behind this one, and we're going to get him next. Now hopefully we can slip in behind this one without him noticing us. And unfortunately he did. That's okay. Three down. Bang, bang, bang. Done. Easy work. He will drop Quicksilver bullets. Over here, the hunter that we dispatched here, he will drop the last of the Claw Mark runes. So now we have all of the Claw Mark runes in our possession. Now, before we go forward, though, we're going to head down here, and we're going to search the lower levels, because now, since this place has pretty much been overrun with the descent of the Red Moon, a lot of mutant little monsters are basically running ramaging. So as you can see, we have these deformed-looking werewolves made of human body parts, which, as you can see, reality is slowly but surely getting more and more warped as shit. So what we're going to do is, to deal with him, we're going to... Basically, we're going to try to... I'm trying to get him with the visceral attack, but it's not working. Now we are. So there we have it. These little freak shows are basically running rabbit on the streets now. They're obviously humans, but they're made of deformed moving human parts. So these are the new enemies occupying this area. And most of the snatchers that were occupying this area when we first arrived here, far sooner than we were supposed to, are now all dead. So if you search the lower levels, you'll find many of the snatchers that were once roaming dead. Each of them will have bloodstone chunks. So we're going to find them, and we're going to acquire those chunks so we can upgrade our weapons further. So get some blood bullets, and we're going to head back up the stairwell into this next area. Obviously, we will have another malformed monster there. Go ahead and dispatch him. Twin stone shards will be dropped by him. So if you still have weapons that need upgrading with twin stone shards, this is the place where you want to find them. Obviously, over here we will find the other snatcher. One of them anyway. 2 bloodstone chunks off of his body. Most of the enemies in this area have been either killed or absorbed. I'm guessing they've been absorbed. Whatever these things probably kill them, they probably absorb them. So now that we pretty much have dealt with them, we can head up and out. And we will have a new threat. The pigs that were once occupying this area have now been replaced by these enemies known as crammed caskets, which are very kind of malinformed, but they're vulnerable to thrust damage, so they're very easily to be killed. So thrust damage is pretty much their weakness, so you can kill them. Crammed caskets are really gross looking, but effective in the sense that they're basically just really imposing. They're more, they're not really so much of a threat until you play later Game Plus, New Game Plus game modes. Head down here just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Doesn't look like it, so that's good. We'll head back. Change up our resources here because I don't want to keep using blue elixir. I'm going to run out of that. And we're going to go ahead and get into the next area over here. Just to make sure there's nothing over here. I believe there may be another... I'm not sure, but I'm going to check because I think there may be another dead snatcher over here with more... Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, disregard. But what we will do is go up here, and over here to the left, there will be threats in the form of these villagers, which are blood phantom villagers. And we will dispatch them. There will be a bell-ringing woman that will keep summoning them over here. So we'll get rid of him. And then over here will be the bell-ringing woman who will summon another one. By dispatching her, that takes the blood phantoms off the playboard as far as, repeatedly spawning. Over here, though, we will find a new phantom as well, and then this will actually be our way up here with the ladder now descended. We can now ascend it. Out there will be another hidden path we will take, but now we have access to this upper level. So we now can access this upper level as a shortcut in the event you haven't finished your search up here. So we'll head down here again, and then we will drop down on this little rooftop. And then out here will be another hidden path where we will find a dog. Get rid of the dogs. Now in there it will be a teleport, like, I guess a bath, like a bird bath, but we're not going to take it yet. We're going to head down these stairs first, and right here way you're going to find a nightmare. Go ahead and put him down and get the bloodstone chunks off of him. Then over here we will find another nightmare, little fucking corpse wolf, whatever you want to call it. Come on, guy. Come and get it. Go ahead and visceral attack him. And he should drop some bloodstone chunks or twin stone shards. Twin stone shards is typically what he'll drop. Over here on the body, you'll find another bloodstone chunk. Now, I could go this way. This will actually take me further in the direction of the next boss fight, further into the village. I don't want to do that yet, because I still have another area of the lower level to search. So we're going to head back to where the elevator was. And since it's descended all the way down, we don't want to drop down there, we'll die. So we'll have to drop down these little platforms here, step by step. And we're right back down here, so that's what we want. And that's where we're going to go. Get your rifle spear handy, because we're going to have more of these little crammed caskets to deal with. Down here, you'll find that there are several people who have turned into, like, little candles, I guess, because of the moon. It's basically made them a little bit doodally. But down here, over here, and on the left, we'll have another crammed casket and a Snatcher lying here dead. Go ahead and kill the casket with a thrust attack. If that doesn't finish it, one splash from the spear will do it. 2 bloodstone chunks from the Snatcher. Now be careful approaching this carriage here. As you can see, it's shaking. Once you approach the door, a huge casket will burst out. So go ahead and take him down. Get the 2 bloodstone chunks off the casket, off the Snatcher. Get a Kin Hunter blood damp gem. Kin Hunter ones basically are gemstones that will help kill kin enemies. So these are great to get from crammed caskets. Ran them right through. Now we don't want to take these guys on in repeat fashion, so let's get their attention one by one. Come and get me, boy. And this will probably be the last one we have to deal with for now, until we get to the next area. And that will be that for those crammed casket enemies. But further up here, you will find there's really pretty much nothing else. Most of the Snatchers in this area are now dead, effectively. And essentially that's pretty much anything and everything in this particular vicinity that you can really hope to achieve and gather. So what we'll do is we'll descend the stairs. As you can see now, the massive gate leading into the other half of the village is now open to us, so we can now access that. The only way you can access that is when the moon descends red. So the red moon is hanging low, which now has opened the path for us to progress forward. The bell ringing woman is ringing more phantoms in for us. So we have one with a rifle. So we need to get up there and get rid of him. More crime caskets have appeared. There's another cram casket further down the street that's spitting projectiles, so you don't want to follow them. What we will do, though, is get rid of this asshole right here. Go ahead and intercept this freak show and kill him. And you'll get twin bloodstone shards. On the corpse to the left, you'll get blood vials. Heading into this darkened area, want to get your torch out. And on the left here, follow along this path and you'll find a rifleman with a rifle. Go ahead and get him. This is basically just going to take you from the upper level down to the ground level. Go ahead and dispatch him. Twin stone shards and a tampering blood gem. This is pretty much the result of the Mensis ritual. It's pretty much... Basically, they sacrificed the entire village. The Mensis ritual has entrapped them in the Nightmare of Mensis. So their essence has been used to create the Nightmare of Mensis, so that the scholars of the School of Mensis, under the Healing Church, can operate its, well, continued presence. As you can see, a lot of them were trying to get away. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Basically just dealing with these. There we have a Beast Hunter blood gem. So you get Kin and Beast Hunter blood gems in equal measure. We're going to dodge that and just get in the same way we always do. Bam. Another Kin Hunter blood gem, and then there's going to be a few things we got to grab along this path here, but they're hidden away. So let's follow down this path here to the right. And around this corner, we will find a body which will have Madman's Knowledge. And then on the other side of the road, leading down that slope, we're going to find two other items, which we're going to run over there and grab as well. But before we do that, we're going to head over here. And in this little corner here, we'll find the Arcane Lake rune. Which the Arcane Lake rune is basically a level 2 rune, which will reduce... We have the original one, level 1, which is reduced the arcane damage by 5%. The second rune will drop it by 7%. So we now have the other Arcane Lake rune. We have one more to grab. I'm not sure where... I think it's going to be in the Chalice dungeon, though. We'll find that eventually. And over here, we will find more Madman's Knowledge. And then further, we're going to go back the way we came. We can hear that little bell ringing bitch up above us. That's actually where she is, which is why we're going to run all the way back to that little bird bath area that I showed you. Teleport to her, because we can't get to her from this position. We have to find our way to her. As you can see, she's just going to keep summoning specters and phantoms to attack us, so we need to get rid of her. Getting rid of her will not stop them from spawning, but it will make them weaker, and it will also make them less prominent to spawn. As you can see, these ones haven't spawned back as of yet. Did I just see something? Oh, no, I did. I thought I saw something. Alright, so we're going to get back on the elevator, and we're going to take the same route that we originally did when we actually dropped out that area up there. So, jump! And we're back out here. And now we're going to head in here, and we're going to use we're going to inspect the bath and it's going to teleport us away, much like how the lanterns teleport us, except this will teleport us to an area that's higher in the other area that we just came from. So right away from the start, we're going to have this one path leading down, which is obviously going to lead us here, but basically this is exactly my point. Hence why I wanted to take the bath. I took the bath because I wanted to show you exactly where it was. So if you ever wanted to take a shortcut, basically after we kill this beast up here, we're going to want to take this path further along this way up here. I just want to take a look in here real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything. Alright, I did not, so that's good. So, obviously there's our rifleman boy, we're not going to worry about him, we don't get nothing for killing him. We're going to head up here. Here's the bath, we're going to head out through this door here, and inside here we're going to have the bell-ringing witch right there in front of us, and we're going to get rid of this phantom, and then we're going to deal with her, because she's a real pain in our ass. And that will take care of her. She will drop us some quicksilver bullets. And then we are going to take the ladder down. Now, this is going to be relevant because ultimately this will make us over this area. And in case you really want to get a shortcut, this is a good way to actually... I'm showing all of this because basically if you die and you don't want to take the long trip back, this is the shortest, fastest route back that you can hope to get. So... And then, with that exchange of that process, we're going to have our next major boss fight with the One Reborn enemy. Basically, the One Reborn enemy is a very unique enemy in the fact that it basically is the antithesis of basically the results of what they were working to develop and scale to the enemy counter if... they basically weren't able to get the thing. So basically they were trying to create a great one. Were they successful is up for interpretation because this thing looks like well, it's nightmare fuel of an unborn baby. So if you're squeamish, you probably don't want to look at this one. But the cool thing about it is it has a strong measure of resemblance to a boss encounter in the game Demon's Souls with the Tower Knight. So the battle sequence of this boss fight is similar to that of the Tower Knight. If you don't know exactly about the Tower Knight, check out Demon's Souls remake or the classic Demon's Souls, and you'll find that is one of the first major boss fights you encounter in the Demon's Souls game. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that, but he is pretty much susceptible to a few things. Number one, he's susceptible to thrust because he's technically a kin enemy, so we're going to use our rifle spear for this job. And then the other thing he's going to be very susceptible to is fire. So we're going to have some Molotovs. We're going to have some delayed Molotovs, I think, is what we'll do. And yeah, we'll go with that. And basically, we'll get started with just going right in there into the thick of it. So... I'm going to change up my outfit a bit, though. Not that. I'm not going to change that. But we are definitely going to want some arcane protection. So we will do... he's going to be there's going to be arcane elements to his attacks, so we're going to want some kind of protection. So we'll go ahead and go with arcane protections of that for it. And basically go from there. So we're going to just head right into the fray, and here we go. And as you can see, the bell-ringing women are going to summon the One Reborn through magic, through the blood moon. And that's basically where he's going to come from, this giant black portal. The moon's going to turn black, and this is basically where he's going to come flopping right out. So pretty much right away, we're not going to want to engage him. Right away, what we're going to want to do is we want to get up above us, and we want to get those witches. We want to get the bell ringing women as fast as possible. He's going to keep casting spells, throwing gore and corpse piles on us, which we don't want to have to be caught in. We just got hit there. But basically what we want to do is we want to get rid of the women. If we get rid of the witches, he will lose his air support. So priority 1 is to get rid of the women. Just go 1 to 1 to 1 and just take them out. That's what you want to do. Because essentially what they'll do is they'll heal him and they'll give him buffs for attack power. So what we want to do is avoid that. So take out his supports and then just deal with him. Now, at this point, you could pretty much do something different. You could do... He's vulnerable to... I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to take a wild guess that maybe you want to experiment with something. I'm not sure if he can attack me here, so we'll find out. But I'm going to look up something on my Bloodborne Wikipedia real quick. He obviously can't attack us right now, so I'm just watching and making sure. So it says here that the one reborn is going to be very vulnerable to bolt. He's going to be very vulnerable to bolt, thrust. I typically like to use thrust. He's also going to be very vulnerable to blood tinge, but pretty typically he is pretty vulnerable to fire and bolt elements. So, Bolt would actually be the better option. Fire is 94% damage resistance. Bolt is 54. So, Thrust, you could probably go with Bolt Paper and maybe Thrust damage. I like to use the Thrust damage because I think it just works better. But given the circumstances, I'm going to go with... kind of a downside with using bolt weapon. There's only certain numbers of weapons that will work with bolt threats, so I'm gonna probably go with... I wonder if he's a kin enemy. I don't know if you would qualify him as a kin. Okay, so he's really not really too weak against anything righteous, so it doesn't really matter. You don't get any real measure with damage elements, so I'm just going to go ahead and use... a good thrust weapon. Damn. Crash. And we'll go ahead and use... I think I'll use the threaded cane. And I will use bolt paper and not the Molotovs. So I could use the powerful weapon of the Tantras, but I'm not going to. Now, you can typically fight them on the ground, or you can fight them on the lower level. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is that basically you get the upper hand in terms of doing the huge amount of damage. Aim for the corpse when it's on the ground, if you can, because you get the added damage effect. I mean, already he's almost practically dead. And that's it. I think the one Reborn is one of the weakest enemies in the game, but with him defeated, you get access to the Yon Backbone, which basically is another critical element for creating more spells in the form of availability in that capacity. So now, where do we go from here? Well, there's a few things we can do. We can go back to the Hunter's Dream, or we can go into this chamber and head directly to our next entry point into the next stage of the fight, which will be taking us directly into the heart of the Nightmare of Mensis, the very place where all these victims have been trapped, and their essence is being used to fuel the nightmare and keep the child of Murgo basically entrenched. So we're going to inspect the mummy. This is actually Mikalesh's body, which is another enemy of the church who we're going to encounter later on. By touching his body, it'll take us back to the lecture building, but on a different level. We had the lecture building when we found our way to the Nightmare Frontier, but now we're at the lecture building on the second floor. So now we have the lantern here. We're going to light that, and we're going to head over here and just quickly assess ourselves with what we're going to find next. So right away, we're going to open the door here, and we're going to find ourselves in this area on the second level, just above the school, just above the first floor of the lecture building. So before we get further into the thick of it, we're going to head into this room here. And we're going to check this body for sedative, which is going to be very needed for the next entry of the Nightmare of Mensis. Oh, this asshole just dropped on me, and he's going to vomit that shit all over me. Get off of me. Second date, no tongue. So right away, right off the start, we're going to head over here, and in here we'll find another lecturer student. We're going to go ahead and just get rid of him. These guys are pretty much vulnerable to thrust damage, so you could do that, or you could use bolt paper. It doesn't really matter at this point. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'll do. I'll switch out my weapon, and I'll go with... there it is. Over here, you'll find several of these guys trying to throw their good night juice. They can't reach you if you don't move. If you move, we'll go ahead and get rid of them with the Tantras. Over here to the left, there'll be an alcove. There's obviously nothing there, but I wasn't sure. Get our torch out. Make sure. I think there's a door here. There should be a door here. Nope. The door is probably over there, so we need to make our way across. But here, open this door, and inside we will find another door leading into and over the lecture hall classroom. But over here, we will have a student looking to ruin our day. So let's ruin his. Pick up the Quicksilver bullets on the floor over here. It will be Master Willem was right. Evolution without courage will be the ruin of our race. So basically, they're starting to learn that Lawrence was a bit out of touch, and they were very stupid to not take into account the risks involved. So they learned that too little too late, unfortunately. So, but once we've dispatched him, we're gonna grab that. We're gonna head over here. We're gonna deal with this next one and get rid of him. And then what we're gonna do is open this door, and in this room hallway, which will give us a shortcut back, we will be able to head back around. Basically, that's all that really is, just a shortcut. In case you're looking for easy supplies or a way to move around. I could have took that way instead of engaging the enemies, but I decided not to. Avoid this little asshole and get rid of him. Nothing down here. Open the door here. And in here you will find another note. The nameless moon presence beckoned by Lawrence and his associates, Pale Blood. So, to transcend the hunt, as you remember in that first note we found inside Yusufka's clinic, it said to transcend the hunt, we need to seek out Pale Blood. So, the nameless moon presence, beckoned by Lawrence and the associates. Basically, the moon presence is another unique enemy, hidden, obscured from everyone but Lawrence and the associates of his school. The Healing Church, the School of Bergenworth, the School of Mensis. They essentially all knew about the moon presence. We eliminate the moon presence. We eliminate the hunt. We eliminate the Great Ones. We eliminate the hunt, the beastly scourge. This whole system is basically just revolving over and over again and repeating the same broken pattern. Because the moon presence is the one that they want. The moon presence is the one they're protecting. So we need to find the moon presence to concede the hunt and to end the hunt. Transcend the hunt and to end the hunt in equal measure. So, but we're not going to get this ending. This is the third ending of the game we're going to get. The first ending is what we're going for. Followed by the second, and then the third. Over here, three third chords. So we need umbilical cords, which we saw us use. We found one already. But essentially, that is what we are seeking. We are seeking the umbilical cords to transcend the hunt. That is essentially our goal. To do that, we need to find those cords. We found one already, and we'll get two more later on. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and dispatch these enemies here. Over here on the body, you'll find a bloodstone chunk. And then we will basically make our way back. As you saw, there was a church giant here, of all places. And he has a unique element of flaming fist. So we're going to get him next. But before we do, we're going to head into here, over the other classroom. And we're going to head along this upper catwalk of this balcony. And then we're going to head over here, open this door, and inside we will find another chest. Open it. And inside we will find the Communion Rune. This is believed the first of the Communion Runes that you find. So, no, this is level 2. So this will give you two Quicksilver bullets. This will give you 3. This will give you 4. So we still have 2 more Communion Runes to find. So we're going to head on back now. This one is lurking up there on the balcony. We don't need to worry about him. We do need to worry about is getting this big asshole here. So we're going to get our Kirk hammer ready. and we're gonna go to town. Lightning rod, buddy. He will drop you twin bloodstone shards, and then that will be it for him. Now we have a nice little piece of work that we're going to be able to enjoy here. If you remember the frontier, when we went there, we had the spider, Patches, that piece of shit who actually almost got us killed. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Well, guess what, Patches? Time to pay up, brother. As you can see, Patches is pretty much the guy here who's been causing us a little bit of headache. So we're going to go ahead and have a chat with him.
Oh, this cannot be. You cannot be. No, you didn't. Lord Amygdala? Oh, how did this come to pass?
Now, at this point, when you talk to him, he'll give you the beg for your life rune, because you can choose to either kill him or spare him. It doesn't really matter what you do. I particularly will get what I can out of it, and then I will kill him, because I hate his ass. But the cool thing is, he will not just... He will drop you Great One Insight, much like how he did in the Hunter's Nightmare, or the Nightmare Frontier, excuse me. And basically something else, I think. So let's find out what he says. What do you got to say for yourself, asshole?
Now, wait just a moment. Do you think ill of me? Me?
Of course I think ill of you, you jerk.
It pains me to hear it.
Oh,
You
it
made
pains.
yourself a misreckoning. I shared with you a thing most secret. Now you're witness to a miracle, and all the stronger for it. It's plain as a pikestaff. Now, say in my heart, you were as a lamb to my God. Well, you weren't to know, and it wasn't for you to know. All's well that ends well, I say. No matter. Such details are trifling. We're fast friends by now. Let this express what words cannot.
At that point, if you talk to him again, he'll give you the anti-clockwise metamorphosis
Oh,
rune.
doubt me not, sweet compeer. What is friendship but a chance encounter?
So, with that rune collected, we now can pretty much get an additional 5% clockwise HP on top of the existing 10%. And then on top of that, well, I don't remember, it was the anti or was it clockwise rune? I think it was the anti-clock. One of them basically gives us either 10% HP or boosts stamina by 15%. So either or, we get the benefit of both. Depends on what you get. So now that we basically got that, we're going to put this asshole out.
That was uncharitably done. That was uncharitably done, dear friend.
And then basically, he will give us just a little bit of echoes. That's it. I don't really need to give a shit any more than I had to. So now that we've done that, we can open the door and we can access this area now as well. Which I am very pleased. I was so looking forward to that. That guy was a dick. A great big bag of dicks. He deserved that ass whooping. So we're going to go ahead and equip our saw cleaver, and then we're going to head right through this door, which will take us directly to the Nightmare of Mensis. Much like the Nightmare Frontier, which is in that direction, the Nightmare of Mensis will be in this direction. Now here we will get Nightmare Magic. We will get pretty much the antithesis of this place, is basically one big nightmare. Welcome to the stream. And here we will find a few things. We will find that it basically is in that direction where the baby is located. So that is where the School of Mensis is, and that's where it's hidden amidst all of this magic, this swirling nightmare. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves ready for this fight. With there's going to be a nightmare ahead of us. But before we get into that, we're going to take care of this little freak show. You want to kill these guys carefully because they have parasites in them. Parasites are basically those little worm things we encountered at the Castle Canehurst. Here, there's a nightmare. We'll go ahead and get him. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to equip some frenzy protections. So we're going to have to dress up as this, DeJurin's outfit, because it gives us the... Excuse me. Oh, we're going to dress up in DeJurin's outfit, because DeJurin's outfit gives us the highest measure of protection against frenzy, which frenzy is going to be a huge problem we're going to have to contend with at present. So we're going to go ahead and equip his outfit, and we're going to get the sedative ready, which is right there. So have your sedative ready, and we're going to go ahead and get into the thick of it. And the reason why we're going to need that is because once we get to a certain point, there's going to be the brain of Mensis, which is a unique Great One enemy that apparently has magic in its eyes, and basically the more it stares at you, it's going to cause frenzy. So now the trouble with getting close to this place is basically he is actually watching the entire area. So his light will, you'll see the light. Watch. So as you can see right there, it's pretty much where the brain of Mensis is. Now the brain of Mensis is going to cause frenzy because it's going to drive you crazy. It has some sort of a unique magic power over your blood. As long as you're out of its vision, it will not trigger. So how do we get closer? Well, we're going to need to close the gap, but we're going to need to do it carefully. Here we will find a lantern, which we're going to explore that, but first we're going to get closer. And here comes Frenzy. So as you can see right away, Frenzy is pretty much engaging where it's starting to kill us. But it doesn't just affect us, it also affects them as enemies. Yep, you too, dear. Have a good one. Enjoy your night. So right away, we're going to have this issue with these guys. So pretty much right there, we're going to have that particular threat. And that will take care of those guys. What we want to do is we want to get across here. So we're going to need to openly run the corridor and just make our way across. Now basically this is basically what we want to do. We want to run cover to cover and stay out of sight of that damn light. The frenzy will slowly but surely go down as you stay out of sight of the brain of Mensis. But that's only half the battle. If that gauge fills all the way up, your entire health bar will completely just immediately just all your blood will basically, I guess it kind of like explodes. So your blood essentially becomes like a bomb, and it kills you. So what we want to do is try to keep the frenzy to a minimum, and we want to use sedative if we can't avoid it. We got a freaking hunter coming into our world. I am not dealing with that. Sorry, buddy. Not happening. I'm not interested in playing PvP. I'm doing a stream. I'm not PvPing. I'm not a PvPer. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm not a PvPer. I have no interest or desire, and I don't want to have it forced on me. So we're going to get back into it. This will still put us back where we were originally. And that will take care of him. Now that we're pretty much in the safe alcove of this rock here, we will make our way around. Now, we have a new threat in the form of these lost children here, which were originally in the Nightmare Frontier, but now they're here as well. So we need to navigate this area under duress from the brain of Mensis, but at the same time contending with these freakish little swamp thing looking things. Which we're going to get rid of him, and that'll take care of him. Thankfully, we're not in the shadow of it, so we don't need to deal with that no more, so that's good. Oh my goodness, not again. Come on. I'm not interested, guys. Get lost. I know where the bell ringing bitch is. I just got to get to her. So I just got to make my way there. I'm getting there closer. I'm going to get closer to her eventually. So once I do, I'll dispatch her, and that'll put that business to bed. I don't have to deal with her no more. Here we have another one. Grab the bloodstone chunk off of him. Alright, dickhead. Alright, I got your number now. I see you. I'm gonna come get you now. Now you pissed me off. Jerk. So now I'm gonna have to go through this whole nonsense all over again. Damp blood gem. A damp bolt blood gem. Take some frenzy sedative to counter the frenzy. And now we'll get back to the business of... I'll take this one down first. I won't take that one down. I'll have to navigate my way over there to get them. I have the high ground, buddy. You can't get me from up here. Give me back my goddamn echoes, buddy. There we go. There, I got my echoes back. So now we pretty much have done that. We are at the far left entry point to the School of Mensis. But before we enter the building over here, we can hear that bell ringing bitch. I'm gonna get her. I just want to make sure there was nothing over there. Open the doors. And inside, we will find our way is pretty much evidently open. We're going to go ahead and equip some much needed protections. So we're going to go ahead and equip we obviously can't really just rush in there because as you can see we got a bunch of them little freaking little freakish little things in there basically waiting to engage us. So what we're going to do is equip ourselves with a weapon. It's very key to understand that these guys are vulnerable to firepower. So what we're going to do is essentially pretty much just shoot the shit out of them. The best weapon to use for this probably would be a blood tinge weapon. So the closest thing to a blood tinge weapon we have realistically is probably going to be the Chikaje. So oh, this is bad. Ah, the fuck. I should have just shot him. I didn't shoot him, and I should have shot him. Son of a bitch. I'm just gonna run it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm running. I hate them little things. You know, and that's the thing. They're so tiny, and that's the thing. They can overwhelm you so easily. So that was my mistake. So we're going to have to put this damn bum ass outfit on just to get through all this freaking ashen this frenzy. I really wish they had more blood tinge weapons because I mean they should be just vulnerable to blood tinge. They should be vulnerable to more than just blood tinge. But that's the thing with those damn things. That's why I don't really like them. I am not fucking dealing with you. Oh, you motherfucker. I see what you're doing. I got you before. I'll get you again. Little toe rag bitch. Alright. Now, let's try this dance again. Definitely gotta do it differently. I'm not using this fucking Chikaje, that's for sure. I'll use the threaded cane before I use the Chikaje. Get on here, asshole. You wanted to pick a fight with me. Let's see how you do it on your own. Oh, you're cute. You're cute. Let's see how you'd handle it this one. See, this is what I mean. I don't think it's fair that this thing should be so high, because you can only fire one shot. I mean, what the hell is the point in having it then? So we're gonna have to basically, little son of a bitch. You're next, buddy. And then in here, once you get up to this level up here, over here where this body is, grab the Madman's Knowledge off the body. But what you really want to look for is this little entry out here, which is where this little bell-ringing bimbo is, and you can put her out of her misery. And then that will actually free you from having to deal with any other players looking to piss in your pool. Grab the kin cold blood off the body as well, near her. And then we're going to go over here, and up here and to the left there will be a bridge. Obviously we can now get to this one. Go ahead and make him follow you down. Go ahead, buddy. Come on down. Don't be shy. You know the way. Come on down. Dada boy. Come here, boy. There's a good spider. And then he will drop some quicksilver bullets. And then what we want to do is head over here to this body here, and we will have a shaman bone blade. Now, up ahead of us is going to be a new threat in the form of a church student who apparently is going to try to stop us from going further. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have some blue elixir and some numbing mist, and then we're going to also want probably the lead elixir. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically try to get the drop on him if we can. Hopefully we can. You can hear the child of Murgo is close, crying her eyes out. So we're going to try to slip by him. I don't think that's going to happen. Sweet dreams, asshole. After dealing with him, he'll drop us some sedatives, which will be great because we have already used a proportionate supply of them. Now, inside here, you'll find a bunch of these little impy threat little things. Basically, these are basically called servants of Murgo, I believe, is what they're called. At least that's what they were told to me they were. But we're basically, they will be very passive in some measure, but otherwise they don't necessarily pose much of a threat immediately. It's only when you engage them they become combative. So we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and make our way down. We'll ignore them for right now. They're not going to really be much of a threat to us at present. But eventually they'll start attacking us. Grab the frenzied cold blood off the body, and then head into this area over here. There will be an elevator. This will take you down to the western entry point, which was further up the slope we did not take. But the added benefit of this point is that we get to gain access to a lantern closer to the base, and no longer will we have to navigate that huge path over there and be vulnerable to this the frenzy magics of the brain of Mensis. So obviously over there's some threats we can take. We're not going to deal with them. We are going to go back to the hunter. We are actually, you know what? I think we will. I got some blood bullets, so I'll take a few of them. Come on. We're gonna get this one's attention. Alright, of course, he's gotta lift a goddamn rock. Come on, guy. Take your time. As you can see, as the frenzy infects them, it's basically going to start killing them slowly but surely. And that's essentially what we have to contend with. But it doesn't discriminate. It affects enemies just as well as you. So the added benefit of doing that is basically enabling it to make your job easier. Now here we have the eye rune off this body, which is a lower level eye rune. There will be another one we'll get later on, I imagine, but for right now, that's the sufficiency of that is in itself good. So we'll grab the twin bloodstone shards off this body. And then we will make our way back up the slope. And then we will head back to the Hunter's Dream. And I think that is where we will end the stream for right now. Pretty happy with it. A little bit annoyed. I lost a little bit of time dealing with Ludwig. Not Ludwig. Willem, the first vicar. I lost a little bit of time screwing around with him because he was a right pain in the ass. And he kept fucking, basically knocking me pillar to post with his attacks. But, I mean, all things considered, there was no real easy way of going about it. The first fight with Willem is always going to be the hardest. That's not to say that the other fights won't be equally as hard, but the fact is ultimately you basically had that instance where you're going to encounter that kind of potential threat element, and that in itself is pretty much it's evident you're going to struggle a little bit. So, but from doing pretty much Yargul Unseen Village, we did a Chalice dungeon, we got a proportional amount of the DLC done, we got into the Nightmare of Mensis, so we did a huge amount of content in that regard for that particular instance, so I am not going to complain about that. We are going to upgrade a lot of these weapons, though. So... repair them. Let's see what we can buy from the messenger bath. We can buy some bloodstone chunks now for 20 insight, so that's pretty cool, which is great, because now we can actually start farming. I can actually go about farming a little bit and getting some insight, and I can start upgrading a little bit, but I won't do high level Chalice dungeons until I'm actually doing streaming, because I don't want to run the risk of grabbing like special rune or a power or something in that capacity that's going to like really just throw the whole stream off whack and scale. So I'll buy 14 stone shards, and I think I am good for an upgrade. I think I am pretty stable for an upgrade. We got 4 insight here, so we'll use that. We've got a Great One's insight. That's 2 insight there. We've got Kin Cold Blood. That's 8,000. Frenzied Cold Blood. That's 3,000. 4 of the level 9 Frenzied Cold Blood, that's 20,000. So I think we should be good for a level upgrade.
Good hunter. What is it you desire?
I love that bow. She bows back.
Very well.
So we're going to go ahead and improve... We'll go ahead and improve our blood tinge. And then we've got 122,000. What do we need? What do we need to upgrade it again?
Good hunter. What? Very well.
So we need 37. So I'm going to sell some resources in the form of ritual materials just to get that, just a little bit of extra oomph to get some power. I need to get, let's see, what can I sell here? Let's say 6. That's good. 6 ritual blood, and you can get, if you have that's a good way to get much money. If you get a lot of echoes. If you need echoes, you can sell some ritual materials and just farm ritual materials and get echoes that way. And we'll go ahead and upgrade our endurance. And that'll be that. And I think we will buy... Now we could buy just one bolt paper. So we'll buy one bolt paper. And we got some bone marrow ash we can buy as well, so we'll do that too. But now we have access to... Actually, it's funny, I didn't check this earlier. We got the church cannon in the store now for 40,000. We got the Gatling gun in the store for 30,000. We got the Fist of Gratia for 10,000. And then we also have... yeah, we pretty much got a proprietary of those materials that now we can use, so... Oh, look at those blood echoes. 666. Wow. Okay, I'm definitely going to get rid of that, because that is a little unnerving. I'm playing Bloodborne. I don't want to have that lingering over my head. So, but all in all, that was a very, very long stream. It was a very productive stream, and I am very pleased with that. I got to doctor up the label, the title of this video on YouTube when it publishes, because I didn't publish it right, and I will fix that. But ultimately, this was awesome. I'm very happy with this. We got through a Chalice dungeon. We didn't really get through 2 Chalice dungeons like I wanted, because I need more power, obviously, and the Cursed Chalice dungeon is pretty hard. Maybe I will attempt to do that off stream, maybe not, I don't know. I will probably do more farming in the Chalice dungeon of that particular dungeon for echoes, just to get the added boost of extra power, so I can complete it. But let me think. We got through a Chalice dungeon. We got through another portion of the DLC. We took down Lawrence, the first vicar. We got through parts of the Yargul Unseen Village. We took down the One Reborn boss battle. We made our way to the Nightmare of Mensis for the next final arc of the game's main story quest line. And overall, pretty much that has nailed the mark in scale to what we have set out. I also found those 2 hidden items that I actually forgot from the previous stream within the Hunter's Nightmare. Oh, you know what? Before we end the stream, I will go do one last quest line, because we have reached the Nightmare of Mensis. So the quest line for Adriana, if you remember her, the prostitute that's actually at Odin Chapel, the next stage of her arc has completed. So we're going to go find her before we end the stream. So let's go back over to Cathedral Ward, and we will port there right away. And the next arc of her story quest line will be open to us now that we've reached the Nightmare of Mensis. I believe that's how it works. So cross your fingers. As we recall, she was kind of not feeling well. Well, oh, no, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so I jumped the gun a little bit, so that's, that's on me. That's okay. I figured we'll probably have to complete the Nightmare of Mensis, or we'll have to probably, I think we enter the next quest line when we defeat Mikalash, which is the headmaster of the School of Mensis, which is actually at the top of the place of the night. He's at the top of the castle there. So we basically will have to contend with that in that capacity, and basically go from there. So I'm very pleased with that all the way. Either way, I mean, even despite that, I'm happy with it. So in the meantime, I'm going to take a break. I got some business to take care of tomorrow. I'm going to call and check about this job, because I still haven't heard nothing yet. I'm getting really impatient, really frustrated. It's not a matter of want now, it's a matter of need. I've got some personal life issues that I gotta really kind of sort out, and I need to have money to make that happen. So unfortunately, my stream time may be kind of chipsy, chip chop, kind of like whatever. So it's going to be hit and miss, but I'm still going to commit to doing a lot of the productivity of the live stream, particularly with Bloodborne, especially. So because I still got, this is just a one playthrough, and we're at part 11 with this video. and the next time it'll be part 12. So I'm going to continue with this. I still got I still got 2 more playthroughs to do, and we're at part 12 with this. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have that consensus of that measure. If it comes down to it, it may have to protract and extend my timetable for streams to 3 hours or 4 hours at a time. So hopefully it won't be too boring. I don't like doing really long streams like that because I know people can get really kind of white. They don't like sitting for that long. But at the very least, I hope this was definitely productive for you. I hope my strategy and tactics will help you with Lawrence, the first vicar, because he is, like I said, in the top 3 of the hardest bosses in a Bloodborne game. And if anything, it's one of the many hard bosses in Soulsborne games, in my opinion. I haven't really played a lot of the Souls games, but I know that this is definitely something that's tested my patience. So I'm very, very pleased that we got where we got. So thank you very much for tuning in. I will definitely pick up more of this in the future. I'm probably going to commit the next stream, though, to the proprietary of Chalice dungeons. We still have a lot to do. Ailing Loran, Defilement Chalice dungeons, the Isu Chalice dungeons. We still haven't even gotten through most of them, so we gotta get cracking. So the Chalice dungeons will probably be the main focus for the next sequence of gameplay elements. Hopefully with the sensibility of getting a little bit of player action, calling for help. If I get enough insight, I will definitely do that because it might make my job a lot easier, especially if I have the right amount of hunters on my side. So if you play Bloodborne, keep your ear to the ground. I will be calling for backup. I will need you, if anything, whatever you bring to the table. So please feel free to jump in and help me out. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, like and subscribe, and I will check you out next time when I continue my live stream coverage, our first playthrough of Bloodborne. Savage Squishy 86, I will see you next time.